Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Against the Storm, where today, in the shadow of these two massive monuments, we will forsake both the gods and apparently our forefathers, somebody's forefathers. Some kind of somebody. And also, move up to a new difficulty for the first time in a minute here. So, Blight Rot has a stronger impact. That's fine, we're going to get our Blight Rot under control. Since we have the opportunity to take our training gear delivery line, I am strongly inclined to do so. It's kind of wild to me that the ale delivery line is more points, because like the training gear delivery line is definitely better, right? I mean, I guess it depends on your species. But in any case, frogs, right? We are absolutely taking frogs. I actually love the name of Mudskip for this town. It's nearly as good as Mayor's Income. And I think we're going to take just like a whole bunch of bricks and... What is it? It's 14 bricks versus 42 clay or stone. I don't remember what the conversion rate is. I'm just going to take the bricks. And then, yeah, some food or some wood. We're starting with bonus food. We're going to take the wood. We're going to take the wood. Okay. Blight Rot has a stronger impact on top of everything else. We get to start with 10 people here. If we go with the top set instead, we get to start with 9 people. I really don't like harpies and humans together, though. I always feel like we're in a rough spot with these two because it's so hard to care for them both at the same time. Let's just, yeah, let's just do it like this. So this is the biome with the giant gathering nodes. Let's go find one. Let's go find one in a real hurry here. Now I have no idea exactly how much worse the blight is going to be. Cyst generation rate is increased by 100%. The hearth corrupts 50% quicker than normal, and all effects that spawn Blight Rot now add twice as many cysts. Okay, so there have been a number of orders and cornerstones and stuff that just kind of don't make any sense. They have cyst values on them that are just like, how would you ever even see that many cysts? Stuff like this is starting to make more sense with those, right? Okay, mysteries. We have invigorating winds. Villagers with this effect move 20% faster if we have complex food met. This won't matter because we make sure everybody's housed. Species resolve drops very quickly. That could be a real shame. Woodcutters fell trees quickly but don't actually gather wood. And housing and clothing will prevent the worst absolute misery. This is kind of a tight, ugly little package of forest mysteries. But I think, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're gonna be okay here. So we got frogs. This is a situation where porridge covers the porridge and the boots are both pretty live. We're gonna hold off on actually wearing these boots just yet. We did not start with a source of clay or stone. Alright. So, we want to hack toward a forbidden glade just about as quickly as we can. That one is okay. That one's like okay. I guess I'm inclined to hack this way just because of the fact that opening up this glade will give us a bunch more space around our hearth. Yeah, we're gonna open this first, and hopefully not get that damn pirate ship again. I feel like most of the dangerous glade mysteries are pretty solvable with your early stuff, except for, gosh, how I hate to see that pirate ship. All right, y'all do that. And what do we want to be pulling in next? We're not going to be able to get housing for the foxes for a little bit. We have probably plenty of food. So I guess my next concern is like maybe the algae pond so that we can make cloth. Let's say that's the other hut that we build quickly. We will go Frog, frog, frog. Just leave all the foxes on build duty. Yeah, and we'll see how things work out. Let's get some basic housing up. So we're going to need one shelter for the foxes. And then we have 3 frog houses worth of brick. So let's just put those down right now. And that's going to leave 1 unhoused frog. If we can get 3 more brick together, we can solve that problem that way. Are we... Okay. Frog as the firekeeper is the right way to go here. And... yeah, we can just jam a little bit more housing into the initial house group here. Or even, you know, we can just plan for the initial gardens. Yeah, I think that ought to be an okay start. So we're definitely looking for early porridge buildings. And I guess once all this stuff gets finished, let's get a workstation up. Y'all... Alright, drizzle water, big stone deposit. I like a big stone deposit. We found 2 harmony decorations. That's going to save us some resources in the long run. But it is, in fact, that damned pirate ship. I feel like it's always the pirate ship on this biome. I don't know when the last time we did one of these and we didn't get the pirate ship was. So... we can throw 9 parts at it. With 2 of our foxes, just burn it down super fast. I think that's got to be the play, right? 330 hostility, but each active trade reduces it. Obviously, that's not a thing we can actually do anything about. If I hit this button, is it going to kill? Okay, no, we don't actually go negative with anybody, and the thing will be done before the storm starts. So. Burn cysts remove additional corruption. Recipes using rainwater have a chance of producing double yields with every 60 fish scales or algae produced. If we take Book of Water now, as we're just starting to run a fishing pond, and then we get on porridge production, we could be producing an awful lot of porridge extremely efficiently. I don't hate that. Woodcutter's Song, I think, is also... pretty good. You know, we've never actually taken, like, never actually worked Book of Water. Let's give it a shot. Okay, I hate losing a whole bunch of parts early on like this, but I don't think we really have an option. Okay, and yeah, they got the timer ticking more than early enough. We will definitely be clear of the storm. Alright, open up 5 glades or deliver 1 ancient tablet. I think we'll take the glades thing, even though it's a little... it's a lot. Frog resolve above 22 for 30 seconds. A fish delivery line and a bunch of free pipes is like a really good reward, actually. But... we're already at the maximum amount of bonus from housing. We would have to turn on the boots, plus favoring, and then we'd lose the -8 from hostility. So we'd be looking at 13 plus another 5. We'd have to get 4 more points beyond that. I don't know that I think we can do that, and I do think giving up, since we're giving up parts for the house here, I think actually the trading post is too important to get parts. I don't think we can pass that up. Upgrade the hearth is free. Ooh, upgrade the hearth in the next 230. Oh, just because the garden hasn't finished yet. No, this is totally free. Comes with some parts and some wildfire essence. Businessman's probably a better overall reward. And we, you know, obviously intend to be running trade routes. They're very important. Yeah, as much as I hate to bail on a timed event that we're going to hit, We need the... I should probably err on the side of grabbing parts, though, right? Yeah, let's try it. I mean, not let's try it. Obviously, we're going to get it done. As soon as one of these things gets built, we're good. Let's put the build priority of this, like, all the way up. And in fact, I'm going to unassign all the woodcutter, the fishermen here just to make sure that the builds get gone. Okay, there we go. Now we can reassign. So once we have some stone, we could just do a break open on this and get ourselves 20 bricks. But I guess actually the thing to do is to just turn the stone into bricks, right? And in fact, to that end, it probably makes sense. Wait, did that not highlight here? It probably makes sense just to move people over to focusing on this. Right, like, let's build ourselves a stonecutter's camp. We'll worry about fish stuff later. Get the stonecutters going, and then we'll get the bricks going and stuff, and we'll get our housing figured out. Okay, we got some wheat available here. We have an awful lot of stone. It's not just the big deposit. These are large wheat fields, so we would need forager camp upgrades to access them, which is a good thing to keep in mind. There's a haunted druid's hut over there. So haunted means that the recipes that come from it are all maximum efficiency, right? If I remember correctly, the druid's hut's the one that produces oil, right? In addition to, it's like oil and coats, I want to say. Yeah, that's how you spelled that word. Yeah, like haunted buildings become flawless buildings, I think. Which would be pretty good. Alright, that might be a thing we want to pursue early. Go after that before we go after the Forbidden Glade. Alright, let's assign... I guess probably we should let the road get finished building, but we do have stuff to do here. So build the bricks. Make stuff out of whatever, and yeah, we're just, at the moment, sadly, very much waiting for some more people. We can't get even really, like, close to running all of our stuff at once yet. And while I'm doing this, let's also throw down a classic garden next to that. Okay. Obviously, these foxes will be able to help out with stuff once they finish the thing they're doing. Also, I should probably make sure we actually build this trading post somewhere. We should be getting more people pretty soon. Right, with a frog at the fire the whole way. So it's probably worth it to, like, plan a shelter as well. Okay. So we're gaining a beaver. we don't really need the clay so badly. So I think let's take on 3 people now, even though that's a little awkward because it creates a situation where we need another frog house, doesn't it? You know what? Okay, we'll take this one just because it makes life a little bit less complicated. Beavers don't like porridge, right? But they do like pickled goods. And we have luxury overlap, luxury and religion as our needs. Yeah, those will be interesting. Alright, lead event is finished. Hopefully we can get some buildings done here now. Keep in mind, on this map, we can just pull people out of the woodcutters camp. Do we need to pull everybody to get our hostility level down? No. Okay, we'll leave one woodcutter active. Probably put you like over here. Yeah, something like that. Okay. And then we can go ahead and assign some people to this work for the moment. This, if only one person's going to be cutting wood, it probably should be the beaver. Alright, and we still have some builders left to run around and complete the other tasks. Okay, get our trader right after the storm. That's pretty handy. May as well hit this button now. I don't see a reason to hold off. And we're doing okay without having to spend the boots, so we will just hold on to the boots for later. Alright, once that gets built, I think we're 2 populations short of being pushed up to the next level, but we'll get there. We can start thinking about a beaver house once that's done. Reduce the pressure on our settlements, or our shelters. Okay, and at this point, I think we can just go ahead and throw people back on wood cutting. Let's get this glade open and see what's what. Okay, deliver 60 scrolls and 60 planks is just very unreasonable. There's no way. 15 packs of building materials is a thing that absolutely can happen. So is oil and flour. We're not super incentivized to make a flour building. I think I would rather take aid for the beaver clan probably there. And then this is discover 3 dangerous or forbidden glades within 9 minutes. So they'll give us an explorer's lodge, which has... Okay, so like brawling's kind of an interesting need for us because we don't... It's not like super valuable, but it does... we have the goods for it for free. So that is kind of something. I think we're probably going to take... We don't know for a fact that we're going to find any ponds that actually have fish in them. But Viceroy's survival guide and boots and parts are all useful. 20 amber over 6 trade routes is like very easy to get. There's... The 12 tools is nice. The Explorer's Lodge is pretty nice. But I don't really think I want to be forced into opening 3 glades with real events in them that fast. I think we're just going to take Cellar. It's not my favorite. It's not super exciting, but it'll do. Okay, survivor bonding, always good. Royal Guard training. Fulfilling the need for brawling grants an additional 5 resolve, but attacking a traitor will result in you getting 2 extra impatience points. Should I be attacking traitors? Is this a thing I should be doing? I'm going to take survivor bonding because it just seems like it's generically good. It's never great. I would love to wait to interact with him until after we see what's in this node, if they will please get it done quickly enough. Oh, can you please just open the thing? Okay. Oh, it's a river kelpie. So yeah, the druid's hut becomes a flawless druid's hut, which I think is pretty good for us. That's a thing we'll definitely want to rebuild. And yeah, river kelpie. We do not have any of the things, but we can. This is actually out of charges already. They're already done with this. So we will shortly have a huge stack of algae. And it does feel like we should just throw 2 foxes on that, like right now, right? I think so. We have a couple of large meat nodes. Okay, so we have some ideas of like buildings we'd like to pull in through the blueprint system. Let's go hunting. So large meat node, large foragers camp. And also, of course, all of the service buildings and whatever that we're always looking for. This is the next stuff to focus on with the woodcutters. And yeah. I should probably get this geyser capped at some point. It's probably not, it's not like a huge priority right now, I suppose. Alright, so Old Farlift doesn't need to give us anything for what we're working on now. Is there anything that we would like to get from him? I don't think... woodcutter production is faster, is kind of okay. Just pulling some crystallized dew so we can make fox houses is probably pretty okay. But I guess we don't know if we need that yet. You know what? Let's real quick run through this process. So we are hoping to hit religion and luxury as needs. So an incense building is not bad. We don't really want jerky. None of our people prefer jerky. This is kind of a bad open, honestly. Yeah, our overlapping foods are pickled goods and porridge. Boot making is something. More efficient packs of building materials is pretty good. I don't know, what is dye used in the recipes for? This is only going to show us stuff in the current settlement, yeah? Show all? Does that do the thing I wanted to do? It shows all the ways of making dye. Okay, so dye is an ingredient in paste, scrolls, tea, potentially. Not really stuff that's super amazing for us. Yeah, I don't think a dye building is really helpful. I think this is a reroll, honestly. I'd take Druid's Hut if we didn't already have a Druid's Hut. Okay, we have a luxury building with brawling for free. Chance of producing double yields increases. Like, I don't think this is an amazing service building, but it's, you know, it's got 2 services that we will actually use. Hard to pass that up, I think. We got to figure out how to make wine. Clay pit's not really that exciting. Brickyard is probably pretty hard to pass up. I think we're going to need a container for the wine. So pottery and crystallized dew are both pretty live on this. And then obviously efficiency is always good. It's hard to turn down, you know, obviously like tool building is also always relevant. Okay. So this is how it's gonna be, right? Like we're gonna see a bunch of stuff where there's like no interesting choices, and then a bunch of stuff where there's several. So wine and pickled goods and packs of provisions are all things we're interested in building here. But also being able to gather from that large those large egg nodes would be really nice. What is this stuff made out of? So yeah, we need containers for both of these. That's right. We need berries or mushrooms or reeds to make wine. And the eggs would be the things we would put in the food in the pickled goods. I guess it's not really helpful. I was going to say it's not really helpful to put the pickled goods thing together until we have the containers, but we do have a building that can make containers out of stone. Well, actually, no, pottery doesn't come from bricks, right? It comes from raw clay. So we actually maybe don't. Yeah, that's actually... Yeah, it has to be raw clay, and we don't actually have a source of raw clay right now. So we would be really hard-pressed to make pickled goods. So let's take the trapper's camp. The optimal container for us might be water skins this time around. Pie skewers. Pie and skewers are both one-ofs. Honestly, maybe the clay pit's important. If we can get both clay and reeds from it. It uses clearance water to produce goods, which is not... We have a drizzle geyser open now, and thanks to our frog ability, or our somebody ability, we know that where another drizzle geyser is. We don't know for sure that we'll have good clearance water, but I might take this just to be sure we'll have access to clay. And then, you know, cannery making paste and wine separately. We can't guarantee necessarily that we're gonna see the cellar again. This is my last one. Yeah, this is the last one for right now. How hard is it to make paste? Four food and 2 or 3 other things you can't eat makes 10 food. It's not terrible. The frogs are probably the ones that need the boost the least. Paste and wine is not bad, though. All right. Now that we've done that, now that I know what we, still will and will not need, it turns out we did pick up a building that will let us make crystallized dew, so maybe we just don't do anything here. Maybe we just hold on to all of our stuff. All right. I need to free up a fox. Probably from the woodcutter's camp. And I guess I want to wait until we actually have the algae, right? Because we want to... Well, we want to minimize time on this, but we also do need to get it done, like, really quickly. I mean, they're running the stuff back right now. Yeah, we want to get it done before the storm just because, we want people freed up. I can't believe I just fully didn't press the button. I'm so annoyed. All right, this is one where it doesn't, it's not going to kill us if it overlaps the storm, but it's annoying for sure that I did not press the button. Okay, we also probably want to get our trapper's camp up. Gosh, there's a lot of stuff to trapper. There's a lot of stuff to trap. You know what I mean. Okay. More newcomers. One frog is nice. I think we're going to take this one. So at this point, we will want a second beaver house. And then we have the settlements necessary. We have the frog housing necessary. Yeah, we're going to be good on that stuff for the moment. Quickly, friends, quickly. Plus, pulling in more people right before the River Kelpie, or at the beginning of the River Kelpie action, means that it will be less likely that we will get 100% of our population charmed. Because we all know how that goes. Alright, the small fishing hut is no longer participatory. Okay, we have that going. I guess I'm going to assign a couple of frogs to this, finish getting that up and get it running. And then we actually do have bodies to get some other stuff happening. So crystallized dew we make out of water and stone, right? Like this, I think, is something we can just start working on now. This is a little awkward with the warehouse all the way in this corner. Yeah, maybe we're going to carve out some space over here. Alright, in particular, clear out those things. We will want to build a forum, and it's going to need to be in hearth space, so let's just go ahead and do that. Pretty annoying stuff. Pretty annoying stuff when we're low on fuel. Can I bump y'all and replace you with people who can actually do the work? Yeah, we're just going to have a hard time keeping people on stuff because of the nature of the River Kelpie. So 336. Okay, the overlap with the storm will be like pretty minimal. And in the end, I don't think it matters very much. Okay, so everybody is housed, and everybody will be in as good of housing as we can give them. Hopefully, by the time the storm actually hits. I do want to get our various kitchens and whatnot going, but I'm going to prioritize the blight post. Actually, over here, let's just make sure that this gets built. I have to say, I'm a little annoyed about the sort of disruptiveness of our early Glade events, but they have been pretty easy sources of loyalty, at least. There's a lot to be said for that. Do we want to... You know what? For this season, let's turn on the boots. Yeah. Just trying to make things a little bit easier on everybody. Although it's worth noting, a lot of people are not going to have boots until after the storm begins because of the fact that the Kelpie's fucking everything up here. Alright, everybody is decharmed. We are back to jobs. Let's reassign the beavers to occasionally create some free stuff. 2 foxes would mean I would need to create a new settlement, or a new shelter Whereas 1 fox, 1 frog means I have to create a new frog house. The foxes are not doing so hot as it is, but they're going to be recipients of boots. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And we'll throw a shelter design up there, and hopefully they'll be cool resolve-wise once the boot charges start hitting. Yeah, okay, we're good. Stonecutter's camp needs to just move over a little bit. Let's not really press on anything else just yet. We are going to need a makeshift post pretty soon. So we definitely want to start getting our packs of provisions going. And then once we have all of this stuff completed, we can start looking into making our food chains work. Okay, the cellar is back. Do we want it now? Because we picked up a way of making wine already, does it make more sense to just grab a beanery? This makes one of our other choices a little bit redundant, but I think this is the right way to go. So let's move this back over to here. That beanery is probably a pretty early priority. Although I'm doing that thing again where I'm like, we're super starved for lumber. If a trader comes in with access to planks, we absolutely must just purchase all of them. It doesn't really help that much that the forum's finishing, because the forum was never eating any planks anyway. So as we come around here, should I turn boot access off again? Like, it would be good to get some happiness through resolve, but also I kind of want to save up for the next storm. Hopefully that's not foolish. Deliver 100 copper ore. We don't really have a source of copper ore, so that seems unlikely. Upgrade 4 frog houses to level 3 also feels like it's very unlikely to happen. These suck. These are really bad. I mean, I guess this is a thing where like it never becomes a thing we can't do, right? That's the one big benefit that has. 18 villagers with the leisure need fulfilled for 120 seconds. I don't know how much purchased beer that would take, but I also don't think these rewards are all that good. I guess we'll take Brotherhood, and that probably just won't happen. Okay. Peasant supplies obviously means that we don't have to think about that so much. I do like that. We will just go ahead and take that one. And Sahilda shows up with a bunch of planks in her inventory and the design for the upgraded foragers camp, which I would actually really like. So I think we're going to go ahead and buy this. Yeah, let's go ahead and buy this, and then we can just put up a bit of wildfire essence for the planks. Parting with 6 leaves us 2. That's probably not okay. So we probably do this and then like generate a little bit more value with some herbs. Okay, because this way we still have enough for another hearth if we need it. If we decide that's the place we're in. But yeah, 25 extra planks is gonna ease things tremendously. And it's going to mean we can actually start making fire here. I'm going to favor them over the top. Let's just see how much resolve we can collect. Okay, that gets finished. That's great news. We are absolutely going to need this geyser. Somebody's got to get on this. I guess let's just make this a thing that like a frog is doing. Just like make that stuff happen whenever you can. And this is frog specialized. Is that a comfort thing? It is just a comfort thing. I mean, comfort matters though. Do I want to bounce some frogs from something else? Like we can make this stuff foxes, so we can have frogs over here. And then it's going to be, yeah, whatever you can make the porridge out of, whatever you can make the pickled goods out of, whatever you can make the crystallized dew out of. Let's not keep too much of this stuff in store. And then as far as this goes, like just, we have 18 people. We probably don't need to have more than like 40 of these foods on hand. I don't know. That just keeps them from like stockpiling all of the stuff. And then this is absolutely a great place to install a rain engine for sure. Yeah, that's going to be really, really good for us actually. And we get our foragers camped down for this other stuff. Okay. I think that is going to turn out to be pretty good. We are chronically low on fuel. We got to get this fixed. So, -3 to global resolve every so many seconds. We don't have any of the resources for it. Never mind. All right, next time a trader comes around, we got to buy stuff so that we can make fuel so that we can make that work. All right, here we probably only need one person, honestly. Crude workstation frog. Right, these are very often able to keep up with roughly infinite demand with only a single worker. All right, and then maybe we stop building stuff for a second and let our wood supplies catch up. Yeah, okay. I think we're in relatively good shape here. Let's stop the favoring if it's not even getting us to blue. We are slowly cobbling together enough tools to actually do something with our tools, which is kind of cool. If we do this, this is 2 new fox houses. I think I like around 2 new frog houses. I think that's okay. I think we can work with that. Is this within... Okay, that is within the hearth space. But also, we could just, like, tack it in right there, right? So, we are a single point of population, a single point of housed population away from pushing all the way to level 3 on this. I think it's probably worth finishing it off. Although, again, I'm just putting a lot more strain on our lumber. Might be a good idea for me to hold off on that for the moment. Okay. Porridge income is beginning, so hopefully we will see the end to our putative food crisis. This is something somebody should be working it can be some frogs. How many cysts did we just get? Holy shit. Okay. Let's give you some backup. No, that's pretty bad. That's gonna cause deaths. I don't think I can build stuff to increase the hearth's level fast enough to increase the corruption resistance. Right, because it all requires a ton of wood. It would be a fire shrine. And a lizard post. And garden. And 2 more parks. Doesn't really matter where, just somewhere. Let's say right here for the sake of argument. Yeah, it's hard to imagine enough wood getting produced. Oh, hey, we have trade routes available. We should be paying attention to this, especially since we're going to get some number of these trade routes, which are just free money. I don't think I want to sell tools. Okay, fire's going out because it's having a little bit of a panic. You know what? Let's call in a person very quickly. Okay, so you don't have lumber, but you do have planks. We don't have a ton of stuff to sell, but this isn't very expensive. So I would be willing to... I mean, I think we have to make this work. I think maybe this is how we end up using our tools, actually. One part is not going to do anything by itself. And then we can sell some of the porridge. Okay, and that won't solve all of our problems, because obviously we need a lot of raw wood, but it will solve a bunch of our problems. Oh, right. Also, do you have any of this stuff? If I wanted to get incense, it would be like 10 amber worth. We literally don't have enough stuff to sell to him to make that happen. All right, that's fine. All right, quickly build things. Hey, can we prioritize the fire, please? There we go. Run some logs over to the fire. Okay, and it's actually pretty close now. I'm gonna mark these up to high priority, and if they get done, then that'll certainly help. Do we make no purging fire? Like, yeah, that's scary. All right, we're holding steady without having the boots turned back on, so I think I'm gonna hold them for the moment. What's in here? Okay, useful stuff. None of it the cleansing materials, unfortunately. We need cleansing materials pretty badly. Alright, we'll have 15 amber to trade with. Oh, these guys are having to run a considerable distance to do their job. That is something that we can we can help alleviate a little bit. Oh my god, put something in the fire. Put something in the fire. Look at these levels. Alright. So a blight fighter left. A craftsman left. There's only so much we're going to be able to do about all this, right? Like, we should probably replace that. That's pretty annoying that they're not even just like running stuff to the forge. Am I just gonna take on a bunch of new people? I think I am. So it's 4 people either way. I guess this one doesn't change our housing situation too much because it's mostly replacing dead people. Okay, he's trying to run. Okay, there we go. Wow, the foxes managed to stay negative for a really long time. Kind of incredible. Stone we can sell. This is like a pretty bad price. Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, that was a really annoying storm season. We shouldn't have another one that bad. Because we shouldn't have the fire going out so much. Okay, cool. That's fun. The corruption was very serious. Yeah, it sucks a little bit that like people are not trying to deliver. I mean, there's no universe where we get 6 glades open in the next 10 minutes. There's no universe where that would be a good idea. I will take this, just interact with some caches. It's a thing we might do. Get a blueprint. Well, you know, honestly, I don't hate the idea of just taking the temple. We want a religion blueprint. It's a pretty good house, actually. It's a pretty good thing. Yeah, you know what? Just go ahead and give me the temple. Okay. So we have a really big problem now of a lot of our buildings being undermanned in a pretty serious way. And there's only so much we can do about it, unfortunately. How much of this stuff do we have? We have... Okay, so not enough to run that twice, but that's fine. Traders on the way, 423. I don't understand how they're so bad at cutting wood. Like, this is by far the slowest wood cutting we've ever seen, right? A woodcutter should not be having problems keeping the fire running. And we don't have the parts to run another woodcutter's camp. We actually just can't do it, so you need to get their shit together. We're not going to be able to run that anytime soon. Okay. So you have the geyser's pump going. We are continuing to forage. I mean, the woodcutter's camp has to remain maxed out. If other stuff has to drop people, then other stuff has to drop people. But the woodcutter's camp has to remain full, and there's got to be... Well, I guess this can just be one person because we're having trouble getting the wood together in the first place. But there's got to be somebody working. We have to have this building worked. It's probably not a 3-person building at this point because we probably don't have the resources necessary to keep the recipes running to that degree. Somebody's got to be... Actually, for right now, no. We do not need people refining resources. For right now, what we need is... And for right now, what we need is another woodcutter's camp. Unfortunately, just not a thing we can do. It wouldn't be a bad idea to build some additional fox housing. Or to build some fox housing. And we have the resources for that just sitting around. I wish you could feed planks into the ancient hearth. It's kind of wild that you can't, actually. Alright. Let's get some lumber from up here. Yeah, when people aren't trying to kill themselves and each other, everybody's really happy. Alright, well, I thought we were going to be able to make more cysts because I thought we were going to resolve some of our other problems here. I am, at this point, obviously less convinced that that's going to happen. This kind of seems like it's going to be a death spiral. Yeah, I'm not convinced we can make stuff up fast enough to offset the insane amount of impatience we gained there. Well, we're continuing toward unlocking cellar, at least. Fire is continuing to go out. I guess we can run like a hauler. That might help. Farloff is here, and Farloff has combustibles. Is there anything else that I want from you? Probably not. Probably what I want is just like a bunch of coal. Yeah, coal burns as well as sea marrow. So I guess what we want really is we want 30 oil. Hold on. Don't burn the oil. The oil is for this. Yeah. So we want 30 oil plus whatever we can get coal-wise. And we want to put whatever we got to put up. We got to put up whatever we got to put up in order to make this, as much of this as possible, happen. So I might throw all the algae in and all the leather. Crystallized dew is kind of valuable in terms of like we kind of like want to keep it and use it. All right, so how much does that give us? That would let me get 31 coal. I think that's enough to solve that problem for the foreseeable future. It'll get us through the storm, certainly. And then we can't start dealing with this until the next until the storm's over, but that's going to make things a lot easier. Okay, nobody should spend the oil, so we're fine on that. I think that coal will get us through the storm. At the very least, it'll let us focus on getting our cyst fighting together, and that will prevent us from having another huge loss of population. If we can get our cysts under control, then we can do everything else. Obviously, it would be super cool if we also finished building the parks. But We got to work with it as it comes. There's not always going to be enough... not always going to be enough wood. Where else do we want to cut wood from? Because I'm trying to minimize travel time. If we put this... you know what? Let me move this thing to somewhere else. Just kind of out of the way. We move this thing over to here. We can get a pretty... That's a pretty efficient delivery path still. I probably do want to bring in more people right now. I think so. Probably as many as possible. Especially since we know that we have the materials for fox houses. We just have raw sitting material. Yeah, sell some of those. Do not sell any of the coal. Alright, so we have plenty of housing for people. It would be better to have another beaver house, but whatever. So I did actually finally run out of planks. Do we want to assign somebody to that building? I think I want to assign another person to this building. Let's make sure that gets done. Yeah, we're really, really solid on wood for right now. So we'll put somebody else in here. And I guess it's time to start refining resources again, even though this is going to pull more wood. Well, no, I want them to finish building the park before we do that. All right, so we have people... First of all, upgrading our park, fantastic. Although at this point we no longer have the population for the thing to hit level 3, but we have cysts and people to build. Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're not gonna lose anybody to corruption this season, I believe. So I think I can start gathering that stuff again. Oof, yeah. You really, like, I thought I was getting the Blight Post up early enough. I should have let the Blight Post finish before trying to build any other wood-producing building, or wood-costing buildings. Like, it really did need to just be that. Alright, this is probably not a 3-person job most of the time. We can kill that last cyst there. Okay, and everything's good. Fucking finally. At this point, I think it is okay to start producing planks again. Oh, that was a slip. That was a bit of an ugly situation there. And now we are way behind the 8 ball. 10 skewers for pickled goods. Incense delivery line would be fantastic. But 10 rain engines is just, I don't think it's reasonable at all. We don't have the ability to produce trade goods. But we can look for it. We're going to pick a lot of blueprints yet. I think goods for the Citadel is probably the next one. And then cornerstone-wise, friendly relations is... we'll get there. So, speaking of, prioritize trade to the Brass Order. We have a little bit of porridge that we can afford to trade off. We have lots of ingredients for porridge, so I'm not too worried about that. And then other stuff we can sell. We don't actually want to sell most of this. I think it's probably okay to do this one. Yeah. All right. Then we also want to probably pull this fox here Because this has got to get resolved now, right? We're never going to have a better moment than this moment right here. Let me get one more fox from somewhere. Because I'll pull you from the blight post. This probably doesn't need to be 10. Alright. Go cleanse that so that we can produce oil so that we can get solid. And okay, that is enough trade routes that we're going to finish settler off of that. You guys already need more wood. We're just like, we're desperate for it. This particular settlement is just going through so much wood and so many planks so quickly. All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I was very worried there, and I'm not yet not worried. To be clear. I think I do want to take the stone. We're going to be fine on foods. Let's take the stone. Okay, what should be worked that isn't currently being worked? There's obviously some value in throwing people into the forum. If we have 3 spare people, that is a thing to do for sure. The Stonecutter's camp has cut all his stone. We have this open or send caches goal, and I think we should be looking at the places where it makes sense to break open a cache. We have 13 bricks right now, but we're going to have trouble producing brick in the near future because we don't have any stone or clay anymore. But that said, it probably is about time to break into a dangerous glade. So maybe that's a decision that we want to make. Maybe we want to just hold on to the stone. Just like take stone out of brick making for the moment, so that we can use it to bash open a cache. And yeah, we'll have to open up our next thing somewhere. I do like that being it. Obviously, it's a little problematic in terms of just like raw distance, but I think that is what it's gonna be. You know where I kind of screwed up here is I was like, oh, why would we ever need 1 tool? And I guess we didn't need 1 tool. We need 2. The one goal that we're really close to does not award tools. This goal that we're not anywhere close to does. This goal that we're not anywhere close to does. But we can like dismantle something, right? I'm gonna take the fishing hut apart. And we'll use that to... sorry, what am I doing? I'm not building a new woodcutter's camp. I'm moving our existing woodcutter's camp. We can narrow this path a little bit. We do have to leave this at least double wide so that we have room to move the woodcutter's camp in deeper. Yeah, and then we'll put up a warehouse. Honestly, probably where the woodcutter's camp is. Right, does one fit there? Yeah. That'll make it, you know, easier for people to, make it easier for people to work in that big glade and also to cut into that big glade. And that means that right now, this second, we do not have jobs for all these people. So let's go ahead and turn on public performances. Do I want my brawling need met? Yeah, I think we can let the brawling need be met. I think that's okay. I don't think I want to sell any of my stone. Alright, getting our proper housing in line. We would love to end up with that. Enough housing for all of the foxes, the fancy housing. Okay, cellar's up, and we probably ought to take it immediately. Just trying to manage my impatience a little bit here. This is going to be so helpful once it's finished. Okay, and it's Sahilda. Well, oh, you know what? Also, I should have looked at this because I haven't. We don't currently have any fertile ground. If we got fertile ground, what would we want it to be? The forester's hut is pretty powerful. Obviously we have the clay pit that we can build on fertile ground. Where does the clay pit sit? Right here. Okay. I don't know if I would want to devote all of my fertile ground to clay pits. I don't think we want supplier or cooperage, although cooperage does give us a way to produce... Oh no, these are luxury goods, not trade goods. Never mind. They probably should be plantation or forester's hut. And we can make our crystallized dew. I'm going to take plantation. Okay, so not like totally ideal there. Anyway, I wanted to look at that before I made a choice from you. So, right now, we are lacking in containers for our pickled goods. We're not making any pickled goods because of it. That I don't care about. Pickled goods would be really, really nice. So yeah, I think that's a focus, is just buying containers at the moment. Is there anything else I need to be buying from you? I guess not critically. So like if we could get these, that would be rad. I don't believe that we can. Obviously, we can afford to trade off our packs of provisions. You know, obviously we don't have to get everything all at once here. We can afford to trade off the packs of provisions if we want to, because we're just going to get more. But running trade routes is very good. Yeah, we can part with some like plant fiber and grain. Stuff that we're like actively harvesting that we will have lots of. And then enough of these to even it up. Alright. So that'll help. Our two lower resolve people having their biggest complex food need met is going to be a big deal. Let's favor you for a second, just till we get the cleanse finished. Okay, there we go. All right. We do not need tea, nor do we really need coats, but somebody should be over here making oil, like all of the time. And we probably don't need more than like 30 of it on hand, but just make oil. Okay. Move this down to here, and that's glade number 2 for exploration purposes. It's going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute. I don't know that I want to sell these food items right now. I kind of want to use these food items to make better food. Yeah, like the biggest shame on it, obviously, is just that this is so far away from the rest of the village. Whew, okay, we're gaining some reputation through resolve, which is going to help keep the impatience at bay to some extent. Overall, our impatience is not really all that bad. Could be a lot worse, right? This is rad. We got a thing that we have an upgraded foragers camp for already. We do not get any fertile ground, which is a shame. Cleansing this thing gives you sea marrow, a sea marrow delivery line, but costs an impatience point. It's kind of dangerous ground. I would rather burn it down. And if we continue to make it so oil is not getting burned in the hearth, we can probably make enough oil to burn this down, hopefully in time. Obviously, gaining additional impatience points is not really a thing that we can afford. I would probably want to assign a third person to this for that to work out. And with 2 foxes, it takes 529 to get through it. That's pretty scary. The rewards aren't even that good. It's mostly just about like not gaining the impatience point. We won't need the sea marrow. We'll be okay without it. And then once we're gathering from this, it's giving amber and oil, and man, that's pretty good. It is giving up, in fact, fantastical stuff. So let's cut through these trees for me. We're going to obviously move our gathering hut over there immediately. Oh, okay. And we will just see how bad this storm is going to be. This storm could be pretty make or break, I think. Am I willing to sell leather? 25 leather? Yeah, probably for 7 amber. I think that's reasonable. We want to be making... Oh, that's right. That's a good reason that we might want to push these. We want to be making sales here. We need to sell 7 more. Oh, what am I talking about? This thing does not care where the levels are. So the First Dawn Company, yeah, selling 7 amber worth of stuff to the First Dawn Company gets us pretty close to another level. We can start gaining some resolve from that. That'll be good. Once we have some of the trees over here cleared up. We can build ourselves out a little path that makes some kind of logical sense. Okay, we still have a fair amount of coal. So I'm hoping that the coal will see us through the rest of the season. Or that we can just bank oil for the thing over there. In fact, we have enough already. Fantastic. Yeah, I was really hoping for a Glade event that was going to give us a point of resolve, or reputation, so as to push back the impatience, obviously. But it seems like we will not be given such luck. Okay, we're coming through with the, what do you call it? The goods. Porridge and pickled stuff. So resolve is looking pretty high going into the storm. I think I'm going to also let people go get boots, if that makes sense to them. And then, like, at some point in the nearish future, we do need to build this temple. We almost have the resources for it just sitting around. Okay, how bad's it going to be? Not bad. Not bad at all, actually. People don't really need to access the boots. We can take on... I'm a little leery of taking people on during the storm just because of the amount of hostility that we're talking about if we do that. However, we could take some people on and switch to a fox firekeeper for the duration. Like, we can probably get back to hostility too, for the duration of the storm season at least. So... we are, I think, best suited to take on these ones. Okay, we're not even, it's not even that bad. We're probably not even going to need the, to change the firekeeper. I trust we will be able to manage beaver happiness without doing so. Okay, so we want to do that, and we need 2 of these. It's a little bit of a shame, because that's a lot of wood. We're going to need another fox house. And frogs are a little bit behind as well. That's the same button. Frogs are fine, actually. Yeah, their resolve is jumping all over the place. I don't know what's going on. I guess we can just... no, never mind. I was going to say we could turn the boots back on, but they will not benefit from the boots. Well, we can do a little bit of a resolve juggle with them and the frogs, since the frogs lose resolve so quickly. And the foxes are high enough that they'll just stay live through that whole process. Alright, corruption's very under control, which I'm super happy about now. And then we can pull some woodcutters. Once it makes sense to do so, if we have to. But I obviously want to be gathering wood as much as possible here. So when we start running this, hostility is increased by 150. That's not so bad. You know what, actually, the completed temple might make it so we don't even have to mess with any of this, because if we just put 3 people to work here, it's going to cut... Oh no, this is Sacrament of the Flame, that's right. I always mix up the temple and the monastery. Well, that being the case, I don't actually think it's worth it to have y'all on that at the moment. Yeah, probably not. Okay. The Blight Post seems to be under control with just 1 person. This is probably overkill. Like, we needed to build a lot of oil pretty quickly, but it won't take so many people to keep up with it. It probably makes sense to build another geyser pump over here, although we're going to have to do some work on that front. Let's try to make sure we have some pipes. Okay, and we'll just temporarily unassign a couple of woodcutters to keep everything happy here. That's right, they're not producing wood during this. I forget that they're producing. That's why I said, hey, they're the slowest woodcutters ever. Why aren't they producing? Yeah, because of the rotting wood, right. Well, I mean, still, I think cutting away the trees is mostly pretty useful. I did totally space on that. Man, there's a lot to keep track of every single game. Oh, right, I forgot. You can break open caches. I'm so used to breaking open all of our caches with stone. We don't need to preserve stone for this, because you can training gear caches open. It's not what I'd like to be doing with them, but it is a possibility. Alright, we can probably go ahead and... I'm allowed to just cleanse it. It probably makes sense just to burn it down. Alright, so get on that. Reassign people to this work. And... probably have like a couple of frogs on that. Okay. I think we're moving in the direction of some kind of success. We probably at this point need to start putting together the packs of building materials, both for upgraded living and for aid for the beaver clan. I do think gain 1 parts every time you sell goods is pretty good. Workers have a 5% higher chance of producing double yields for every 110 points of expected corruption. That's a hard one to really take advantage of. But extra parts we can make that work. Okay, so we're gonna be in the blue pretty easily as we continue to meet needs here. Do we have a did we end up making an incense building? We did not end up picking an incense building. So we need to get another half point of reputation in order to have another swing at that. Like I said, I think this is probably the time to start working on this. I have to get up to 15, huh? The frog house upgrades, they're only 1 each. Villagers living in a house with this upgrade get resolved. I guess, yeah, putting together some storage rooms is a pretty good way to do that. We don't know for sure that each rank just requires 1 building material, but at some point we have to learn, right? So I think that's what's up with that. We may be able to buy our way through Brotherhood if we just run into a trader who has scrolls for sale. At this point, we can afford to sell oil, but I'm not going to. Okay, there we go. They can finally start working it. Ooh, just before it would have exploded on us. And at this point, we can start burning the oil in the hearth. I don't think that's a dangerous thing to do. All right, so I think we've stabilized. Stabilized is the word I would use. We have some goals that we can work toward. Obviously, the number one thing that I would like to get going at this point is tool production. If we can start producing tools, we can start cracking these and sending them home. That's going to solve our impatience problem. It's going to finish an order for us, which is going to solve even more of our impatience problems. And I don't really think that we need, like, this is the only one I might break open. And even then, only because it gives us so much metal to make tools with. But we do have to unlock a tool blueprint first. So, a couple of those yet to go. Hopefully things we can reach in the near future. And I think with that, that is where we're going to call this one for today. It got a little bit long, but I wanted to sort of pull out of the spiral before leaving it for future me. So thank you all so much for watching. Am I getting worse at this game slowly over time? It kind of seems like it, doesn't it? Come back next time, I suppose, to see if that's true. And we'll see you then.